Hello, my name is Daniel Saeedi, and I'm an attorney at a Chicago law firm called Taft, Stettinus, and Hollister, LLP. And I'm going to be talking to you today about the Illinois State Bar Association's Lawyer-to-Lawyer Mentoring Program. Now, this is a fantastic program that pairs seasoned, experienced attorneys with attorneys that are new to the profession for the purpose of having a platform for mentoring and counseling and pairing and really fellowship in the profession, which is so crucial to a young attorney entering into the profession. Now, I'm going to be talking today about three things. First, the need for mentoring in general, why it's so important. Second, the nuts and bolts of the program that the ISBA offers. And finally, some tips and antidotes from my personal experience that might be helpful to having a rewarding experience both for the mentor and the mentee. Now, first, the need for mentoring. Why is it so important? Well, young lawyers today, especially in Illinois, are facing a challenge that's really greater than in the past. It's no secret that the average young lawyer has large law school debt, more hours than ever. The recession really has affected the practice. And of course, the legal practice itself gets more complicated every year with more cases, regulations, and things for the young lawyer to know. And what does that mean for the young lawyer? It really means that the young lawyer can benefit from as much mentoring and counseling as he or she can receive. And that's really what the Illinois State Bar Association's mentoring program offers. It offers an opportunity for young lawyers in a very safe setting, the mentoring program, to ask the questions that they have unanswered for their practice or that they might feel awkward to answer in their own work setting. And that's why the program is really crucial, and it's an excellent opportunity for seasoned attorneys to give back to the profession. Now, as to the nuts and bolts of how the ISBA's mentoring program works. The mentors and mentees who would want to participate in the program can sign up through the ISBA's website. And it's really www.isba.org/mentoring, which will have a lot of information as to the process. Now, to participate in the mentoring program as a mentor, you must be in good standing as an attorney in the state of Illinois with no suspensions on your record. You must also have practiced in the state of Illinois for at least 6 years. And finally, you must be a member of the ISBA. It is the ISBA's mentoring program. And a little bit about membership at the ISBA. This is just one benefit that the membership offers, and I really would encourage anyone who's listening to take full advantage of what Bar Association membership means and all of the benefits that it has. Now, to be a mentee in the program, you must be in good standing in the state of Illinois as an attorney, and you must be practicing in the state for 2 years or less. And that's really the essence of the program, pairing up seasoned attorneys with attorneys new to the profession, just coming out of law school, who can benefit from the guidance and the mentoring. Now, one of the chief benefits that the ISBA offers through this program is 6 hours of continuing legal education credit. Now, these are free CLE hours. In other words, if you participate in this program at no cost and you satisfy the requirements, you will receive 6 hours of CLE credit. Now, these are not just 6 hours of credit. They also constitute 6 hours of professional CLE credit. Every lawyer in the state of Illinois has a requirement every 2 years of having 30 hours of CLE credit plus 6 hours professional credit. This program would constitute the entire obligation of the attorney's professional requirement, the 6 hours. So it's a wonderful benefit for both the mentor and the mentee who would both be eligible for the CLE credit. Now, the guidelines, the requirements of the program. The mentor and the mentee have to meet with each other 8 times in the year, at least 8 times. I would encourage, of course, more as the relationship progresses in order to really benefit, but 8 times a year to satisfy the requirement. And there will be an orientation in January when the program starts, where the mentor and mentee will meet with each other for the first time, and written materials and helpful guidance will be provided to the mentor and mentee. And once the mentors and mentees have met for 8 times, they would be eligible for the credit. And that's really it. That's how the program works, and it's a wonderful experience. And finally, I'd like to talk about some helpful tips and antidotes from my experience as a mentor in the program. Tips that might help whoever's watching this to understand how to provide a rewarding experience in the mentor-mentee relationship, because that's what it's really about. It's not just about the meeting requirement, but it's really about providing a service to the young lawyer who's participating in this program. And so a couple things that I like to do in the mentor-mentee relationship is for the first few meetings that I have with my mentee, I like to understand a little bit about him or her and what's on his or her mind in terms of the practice of law, a little bit about understanding as to the subject matter that the attorney practices in, the life of the attorney in terms of their professional life, where they work, what concerns they have, and really whether they're having a good experience or a not so good experience in their career. Really understanding where the attorney is coming from. I think that's really the start of understanding how to provide true mentoring guidance for a young attorney, is understanding where they're coming from. The second thing I would recommend is, once you have a full understanding as to the attorney's practice and needs, I like to tailor my mentoring to those needs. And that might consist of bringing materials when I meet with attorneys that they might find helpful. Sometimes bringing friends who might practice in a specific group that the young attorney practices in, who could give another perspective that I myself might not be able to offer. Sometimes I might look at resumes, and if the attorney's interested in looking at different career paths, I might look at an attorney's resume or cover letters and things like that. So I would encourage, tailoring your meetings to the needs of the attorney to really provide a rewarding experience. The third thing that I would suggest is bringing the mentee with you as a mentor, for mentors that are watching, bringing the mentee to events, whether they are a networking event or a bar association event or a charitable event. Places where the mentee can not only meet new people, but also see how the mentor interacts in different settings. And finally, for attorneys who are sharing in the same subject matter, I like to have meetings that are updates, as to certain topics that the mentee might find interesting. I think all of these things contribute to a very rewarding experience. And the last thing I would say is, continually as the mentor and mentee meet, try to ask each other what they want to receive out of the mentoring experience, because that oftentimes will be telling as to how the relationship can really be beneficial to both sides. A last thing I will say is, it's been an incredibly rewarding experience for me in the years that I've served as a mentor. I've learned a lot personally from my mentees, and I hope that they've learned a lot from me as well. And we've had rewarding discussions as to the profession and their careers. And I think it's been beneficial for their practice, and it certainly has been for mine. So I would encourage anyone watching to take advantage of this wonderful program that can really provide a service to the profession and allow you to receive 6 hours of CLE credit. And with that, I would say that anyone who has any further questions should go to www.isba.org/mentoring and receive further information. Thank you.